Hello guys, hi, hope everyone's doing really well out there. Yes, it's me back after a couple of weeks. Come back to do another video. This one is a kind of twofold affair. It's part VCLT and part fines, and also a couple of other non-vinyl bits that I came across, which may or may not be of any interest to anybody, but there you go. So yeah, so last week, last Saturday, I actually went out for a drink with John, 6-inch pianist, who I've probably mentioned before, lives local to me here in Solihull. I've been for a drink with him before, but it's been a while since we've repeated the experience. So yeah, yes, it was great to catch up. Had a few beers, bit of a laugh, and caught up on sort of news and current affairs with our sort of respective lives, etc. Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised to receive some VCLT from him, but not just from John, also a record which I was aware of that I was going to be getting, which was actually from Martin Parrott. So I'll just whiz through and show you what I was given. So first off, this was the VCLT that came from Martin Parrott. So Martin knew that I was a Tropicalia fan, like the Brazilian artists and singers. Yes, so this was, I think, one that he picked up for me at the last Reading fair that sadly I couldn't go to because of a COVID scare. But he very kindly gave it to John to pass on to me. So obviously last Saturday was the first opportunity to do that. And yeah, I was very gratefully received. So this is Gal Costa, or Gal, as she's known here. And I think this album's called Bem Bom. So that's Gal. You just get that gatefold in there. That's the front and back cover, so you can see her in all her glory. That's the gatefold. And there is a lyric sheet as well that comes with it, which is of course all in Portuguese, being as she is a Brazilian artist. So, and there's actually a stamp on the inside of the sleeve, Museo do Disco. So I assume that's where this was originally purchased from, I guess. So yeah, so Gal Costa, obviously a Tropicalia artist that emerged in the late 60s, who recorded quite a lot of work by George Ben and Caetano Veloso, amongst other luminaries of that period. Fantastic voice. Really enjoy. I have her first album, which is just amazing. So yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be probably as good as that, and it isn't. It's from 1985, so it does suffer, I guess, a little bit from that kind of 80s production, but you know, it's very easy to be kind of cynical about that kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, it's not a bad listen. I've only spun it once so far. Probably need to give it maybe another couple of plays. But yeah, all in all, a pleasant listen. Very smooth, very sort of balladic. I guess obviously looking to sort of probably you know, sort of get into that kind of the smooth pop that was around in that kind of mid-80s period in the UK and the US. So, but yeah, it wasn't not bad at all. And obviously very grateful to Martin for picking that up for me. So thank you, Martin. Okay, so the next three were from John. So 2 out of the 3 I'd never heard. So great, always good to have music that I wasn't familiar with or haven't got in my collection. So the first one's quite an interesting one. This is How to Play Blues Guitar. So this is Stefan Grossman and Aurora Block. I've heard of Stefan Grossman, wasn't familiar with Aurora Block. But yeah, this is a kind of, I haven't actually spun this yet, but I've had a look at it, and I believe that it's a kind of, it's a record with a kind of voiced instruction on how to play blues guitar, or certainly it's highlighting some songs, blues songs, traditional songs to play along to and try and learn. So yeah, this is on Transatlantic Records. From 1971, I think, according to the label. And yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that I wouldn't. I mean, I've got books on how to, guitar tablature and so on, and I bought some lyrics for records that I was really into to try and learn the chords and so on. But nice to have. There's the booklet itself. And obviously we've got kind of tablature there to follow. And sort of illustrations as well for the chord configurations. So yeah, that'll be nice to have a play around with at some stage. And like I say, not something that I would ordinarily by myself, so nice to have. This was a lovely listen. This is a band I didn't have anything by them in my collection at all, but I see their records quite a lot. This is Planxty, and so yeah, this is from 1980, and this is their album The Woman I Loved So Well, and it's on Tara Records, Irish folk label. And yeah, I mean, obviously Planxty, quite sort of traditional Irish folk, with a kind of modern twist, I guess. Certainly this album sounds very much like that. You got wonderful Christy Moore on guitar and vocals, wonderful vocals. The first track, True Love Knows No Season, that I absolutely love. That's a real beautiful track, with some wonderful ukulele pipes going through it. So kind of motif really gives it an atmosphere. Yeah, and you can just lose yourself in this kind of music. But yeah, there's some sort of jigs on there as well, so it's quite upbeat in places too. And yeah, this is just an album that's right up my street, so really enjoyed that. So that's Planxty and The Woman I Love So Well. Okay, and then the last one from John. This is an artist I've got quite a few of their albums in my collection. This is actually one I used to have on CD, a compilation, but very nice to have it on vinyl. I don't think I've seen it on vinyl before, actually, or certainly if I have, not for a very long time, never picked it up. This is the best of Steel Eye Span. So this is a best of compilation from their Chrysalis collection from 1984. starts off with the wonderful Gaudete, and that needs no introduction, All Around My Hat from 75, big Christmas hit, produced by Mike Batt, of course. Then you've got wonderful staple songs, Thomas the Rhymer, Alison Gross, the wonderful little Sir Hugh and Long Lankin from Commoner's Crown, which is probably my favourite of their 70s albums. Really, really, really fun, great album of theirs. Love that one. And then finishing with Bach Goes to Limerick. So yeah, great. Really enjoyed, and nice to have that in the collection. Nice best of to put on. Perhaps you don't want to play the studio albums, just want to play a best of. Chrysalis. And yeah, all of these in lovely, lovely condition as well. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Really, really appreciate that. Nice to have. Thank you. Okay, and so yesterday I dropped my son off at work, and I was passing through Henley and Arden on the way back, and I've known about this shop for a while, but not popped into it. It's actually a Henley Vintage. There's a flyer for them there. So it's a kind of twofold shop. The first shop on the high street does a lot of kind of bits and pieces, some ornaments, sort of pop art, and also some records. Excuse me, sorry. And yeah, so popped in and had a look, see what they got. Not a huge amount of records, probably about maybe a dozen or so bins, so not too much. Quite a lot of R&B and soul, some kind of modern jazz. There was a small 60s section and some prog and easy listening. So I flicked through everything, and these are the two things, because I didn't have a lot of money on me either, so two things that were kind of pretty reasonably priced. But yeah, I was sort of holes in the collection, happy to pick these up. So the first one was this one, which is a very, very common record. So this is Justin Hayward, John Lodge, and this is their 1975 collaborative album, Blue Jays. Really, really like this record. So yeah, John Lodge and Justin Hayward from the Moody's, of course. And I think this was recorded whilst the Moody's were in a bit of a hiatus. I think they just released the kind of the compilation album from the first sort of 7 albums. And to be honest, after that, I'm not too keen on the sort of later 70s and into the 80s period. So for me, this is probably the last really great thing I think that that the Moody's or these guys did. So yeah, so that's the gatefold there. Like I say, it's a very, very common record, but I've rarely seen it in such good condition. I normally see this record and it's absolutely thrashed, covers bad, no insert, etc. So this is on the Threshold label. And yeah, it's a little bit dusty, but nothing that won't clean off. Virtually no spindle wear at all, which is always a good sign, because you know it hasn't been overplayed. And also came with the lyric inner as well, which is immaculate. Lyrics on the inside. And yeah, I mean, the songwriting on this record's really good. I just really like the feel of the album. It flows really well. Yeah, great album, and reasonably priced. So happy to pick that one up. This is one that I've meant to pick up so many times, but again, not seen it in great condition, or it's been for more money than I've wanted to pay for it. This was just right in my sweet spot. So I have their second album, but I was holding out for a decent copy of their debut, and this is it. This is C'est Chic. So this is Wonderful Chic. Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards, of course. Fantastic, groundbreaking soul funk record from that kind of disco era. But I just really like the feel of the music. And yeah, I mean, nothing really much more to be said about Chic. They're a fantastic group. So this comes with the original inner. On Atlantic, green and orange Atlantic. So yeah, delighted to get those. And just a couple of extra bits. Friend of mine who works as a house, clears houses. So obviously after the solicitors and the wills have been read and everything's been removed from the house that the family want, then he goes in and obviously clears the house. So, and he often picks up bits and pieces for himself or anything that he can pass on. He's always looking out for me for records or anything of pop or sort of, folky stuff that he thinks that I might be interested in. And yeah, he picked me up these. So this is reprints from Sing Out. So this is a folk song magazine. This is volume 9 with a grand price of $1 there. So I have had a quick look through this. This is an American, an American publication. I think these are, as it suggests, it's reprints. So reprints from songs that appeared in those magazines. And I think the date of this is 1960, I think it's 66, I think. So yeah, just nothing amazing, but just interesting, I guess, from a historical point of view. Nice to have the lyrics and, read about some of these old folk songs. Quite a few of them I'm not familiar with. Some of you out there who are more connoisseurs of older folk music might recognize some of these songs, but yeah, nice to have. So that was an American one. This is a UK one, folk scene publication. This is Alex Campbell Frey Glasgow Tune, Songs and Stories of. So quite nice again. Probably put together from a sort of folk publication that was probably out at the time. As I say, this is one from the UK. So again, nothing really spectacular, but some interesting anecdotes and stories at the back there. And yeah, I think this one's from a bit earlier, from I think 1963 or 4. It says this book is for Daryl Adams, folk singer, raconteur, banjo player, and friend. So there you go. I don't know whether anybody was interested in that, but so yeah, that's it, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Those that have, hope everybody's been enjoying the pretty nice weather we've been having this week in the UK. although I think it's all going to change next week. So managed to get out and do some gardening, and my mum's out there now, bless her. Obviously, happy Mother's Day in the UK to all the mums out there. And yeah, so treasure the mums. That's what I say. Salt of the earth. Okay, so cheers, guys. Hope everyone's doing well, enjoying the rest of the weekend, and I will speak to you again soon. Cheers, take care. Bye-bye.